Hello, everybody!
Hello, everyone.
And welcome back to The Optimist and the Pessimist. Sorry we've been taking so long in our videos, you know, with school and everything.
Yeah, but now we're back.
Yes, finally. And this time we're going to do something different. I know we are just starting out, but we decided to introduce something different to our channel, and it's called Off the Cuff. It's gonna be a little, mini series, right?
It's gonna be basically us discussing a movie right after we saw it in theater, so it's not gonna be as informative as our longer breakdowns like Rebel Moon, but it's basically just our first impressions on the movie right after we saw it. So it's not gonna be in depth, but it's mostly just gonna be mostly non-scripted, mostly just opinions that we have.
Yeah, just our thoughts on the movie in whole. And the movie we're talking about today is the critically acclaimed newest Marvel movie that they finally came out with for once for the entire year, and probably their only movie they're gonna have for the entire year.
Yeah, I think it is gonna be the only movie for the entire year.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because after their absolute shit fest that was the Marvels, they halted production for a lot of the movies, especially the new Captain America movie,
which we saw the trailer for.
It looks absolutely terrible.
That terrible.
It looks absolutely terrible. Yeah, and it looks terrible. Anyway, not only are those movies being pushed to later dates, but a lot of the shows are on hiatus.
Oh yeah.
So this is probably the only Marvel content that we're gonna get this year, which I'm not complaining about because I don't really watch any of the TV shows. Anyway, but this movie that we're gonna be talking about is Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's right, it's Deadpool's third and hopefully last official movie in the Fox and Marvel universe, since they're both basically tied together. It came out 2 weeks ago. We saw it a couple of days ago, but we had to just get a proper feel of the movie, digest it a little bit. And hopefully, if you guys want, we could do an in-depth video in a later date. You know, if anyone's feeling nostalgic for Fox or Marvel content, you know, until they come out with their new movie and people just want to reminisce on what was good.
Yeah, and also, if we do a full breakdown at a later date, if you guys want that, our opinions might change since this isn't off the cuff. I can't really be that critical about it because...
Be critical?
Well, no, I am gonna be critical, but I can't be that critical because I have gaps in my knowledge about the source material of this movie, as in, I don't remember any of the X-Men movies. I watched both of the Deadpool movies, but I don't remember anything about them. So this movie, to me, when I watched it, was basically its own little isolated incident.
Yeah. And that's what it is, because this movie obviously kicks off with...
Well, before we get to that,
let me just say, it starts off with the idea that this is more in the Fox universe.
Yeah, this movie is basically paying homage to all of the Fox movies.
Both good and bad, unfortunately.
Yes, as well as somewhat making fun of the Marvel movies as of late.
Yeah, and boy do they deserve it. So, Deadpool Wolverine, like we said, it came out 2 weeks ago, and it's gotten very good reviews. Like, when we watched this movie, my friend over here had very, very, very low hopes for it. Like,
well, it's not that my hopes were low for it. It was just that I wanted just to enjoy the comedy, because I really like the Deadpool comedy from the previous movies, and that's all I came in the movie for. I didn't have any hope that the plot was gonna be good, and I didn't have any hope that the character was gonna be good, but to my surprise, you know, once again, because of my limited knowledge, I actually really like the character. So, my first impressions of...
Before we talk about first impressions, I just want to talk about...
No, let's just start with the first impressions, and then we could go into the movie. So, my first impressions of the movie was that it was pretty decent. Now, the plot...
Now,
About the plot. I'm talking about my first impressions.
okay.
The plot is an absolute
A what? An absolute what?
An absolute garbage, like, just trash heap. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But
to be fair, the plot. Okay, I understand. Okay, yes, the plot is messy, and there's a lot of stuff in it that doesn't work, but it's like fairly simple. So basically, spoiler for the movie, because yes, we're spoiling the movie. Basically, this plot is about Deadpool. It's been 6 years since he's done any like crime fighting and stuff, and he basically wants to create a life for himself, but he feels down. He feels like he's in a rut, basically, and then he basically gets kidnapped by the TVA, or the
Time Variance Association, but let's just call them the TVA, okay?
Yes, yeah. So anyway, the TVA kidnaps him and tells him that his world is going to die. Why? Because, and this is where the plot gets a little bit scrutinized. Apparently Fox Wolverine dying.
As you remember, guys, he died in the Logan movie.
Yes, which I think is a very good movie.
I did not watch it.
Well, I didn't watch it, but I did hear people say it's like very good. It's like a nice little send off to Wolverine and his character.
Yeah, so anyway, because that event happened. No, let's just keep this on track. Because that event happened, Deadpool's universe is quote unquote dying.
Yes, but
because he's an anchor being in Deadpool's universe, and when an anchor being dies, the universe dies.
Think of an anchor being as like a fixed point of time. If it doesn't happen, then the universe will.
That's not what it is.
It's not.
No, it does happen. That's why it's dying, because he died, because of the events that happened in Logan. And him dying, the universe is decaying, basically.
Right. So Deadpool goes on this little time adventure to find another Wolverine to replace the old Wolverine. But this Wolverine is kind of like, well, quote from the movie, he's like the worst Wolverine for reasons we'll get into when we get to the characters. But so basically the two of them have to work together to try and save both his world and stop the TVA from basically destroying it.
Yeah, so that's basically just the plot, and as, you know, Deadpool goes on this adventure with Wolverine, wacky events ensues.
Yep.
And so my first impression is basically the plot's absolute shit. But the characters, I really liked the characters and how the arcs went. The arcs are pretty simple. And again, because of my limited knowledge, I don't really know if this is like if the stuff that happens in this movie is fully in character for Deadpool or for Wolverine. But based on this movie and how the arcs were executed, I pretty much really liked how it went, especially for Wolverine.
Yeah, first let's talk about Deadpool, because Deadpool is obviously the main character of this movie, and I actually really like Deadpool in this. I know I've seen some people say that, oh, he goes to the same, I want to do this to save my girlfriend, but to me, I see it as him trying to get out of his funk, because like I said, he feels unfulfilled. He even tries to be a superhero, but he gets reminded you don't.
He doesn't try to be a superhero. He tries to be an Avenger.
Well, yeah, but obviously he's swiftly reminded that you don't have to be a hero. You shouldn't be a hero because you have to be. You should be a hero because you want to be. And throughout the course of this movie, he genuinely does care about his life. He doesn't want anything to happen to it, and he's willing to fight tooth and nail, even if it's not perfect. And I think the good thing about his arc is that he's willing to, like, sacrifice himself for the people he loves, which is unique because Deadpool is not a very caring girl.
Okay, but that's not really true, because in the second movie, when his girlfriend gets shot, he goes through a whole lot to try to reverse what happened.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like telling the he's not he's not very, like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for the world type person. He'll do stuff for his own needs and not for the world, probably because of the first movie. But overall, he obviously does care about his world, and he cares a good much about it because he feels appreciated with the limited people he knows, right?
Basically the whole point of his arc is that it's not that you should be a hero because you want to. You should be a hero because people need you. And when the fate of his world is, like, in the balance and his family's basically gonna die, he learns that he should be a hero to try to save them instead of just trying to get out of his funk, so to speak. Now
let's talk about Hugh Jackman, because Scarlett, he's practically your favorite character.
I really liked Wolverine in this movie now. Okay, I didn't watch Logan, so if I did watch Logan, I don't know how much I would like this version of Wolverine, okay? But with this movie by itself, like, just pretending that none of the movies exist, right? I really liked the progression in his arc.
Yeah.
Now, the setup for his arc doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and I'm gonna get into that, but the art... Well, we're gonna get into it later as we go through the plot, but the way his arc was executed after that, I really liked. I like how they don't have him exposited in, like, the very beginning, and he doesn't like to really talk about it until, a certain someone who is, like, important to his story, like, has a conversation with him, and he, like, is really heartfelt about it, and I really liked how it was performed. Hugh Jackman is a very good actor. He really sold the character
he really
to
is.
me.
I saw like a little video about him, like, getting emotional about the movie, which, by the way, it hit over $100 million in its first couple of weeks, so congrats! This movie's going good.
It's probably gonna make $1 billion. Actually.
It's not gonna make $1 billion.
It probably is.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman said he enjoyed replaying the character of Wolverine. He enjoyed the nostalgia and how much he brought to the table. I think he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, his acting was really good and really convinced me of the character in this movie, and he was the best thing in the movie. What I also really liked is the banter between Deadpool and Wolverine.
And by banter, we mean that there's a lot of jokes, fourth wall jokes, and
they don't get along, like, in the
obviously.
beginning, like, at all, and they're a constant...
There's lots of comics and, like, media where Deadpool and Wolverine never get along. It's a stereotypical, mysterious, no-nonsense guy teamed up with the happy-go-lucky person. And I actually like that genre. It's my favorite. I enjoy that dynamic between two polar opposites coming together to, like, fight for a common goal. I enjoy that trope.
That's true. And their banter's pretty good, and their friendship kind of, like, progresses, and they start, getting along with each other to the point where, like, they're willing to sacrifice their lives, not only for the world, but, for each other. And it was actually pretty decent. It was actually pretty decent.
Yes. Also, Hugh Jackman are friends in real life, so to see those two bounce off of each other, it was fun. I liked it.
They're friends in real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, Hugh Jackman actually called Ryan Reynolds to ask, hey, do you still want me to cast as Wolverine? And he's like, yeah, surely you can come up. And yeah, I had a great time filming each other.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so the characters are good. Now, well, the other
aspect of this movie.
Yeah, let's talk about the villain. The villain. Okay. So unlike Scarlet over here, I've actually seen the X-Men movies. I've not read the comics, and I did not know who this person was.
Well, I didn't read the comics, and I barely remember the movies, and I knew who this person was.
How did you know?
Because I heard people talk about it on the internet.
Yeah. Okay, so the villain. Well, it's technically two.
Yeah, there's two villains.
There's two villains. Let's talk about the main one, Cassandra.
She's the main villain?
Well, yeah.
I thought Paradox was the main. He's the one that, like, brought Deadpool into this whole mess anyway. So.
Yeah, isn't she the one who wants to,
So does he. Well, not the whole... Well, he doesn't want to destroy the whole multiverse. He just wants to destroy Deadpool's universe.
Yeah, but isn't she the one that's, like, hindering their journey?
Yeah, alright. That's fair. Let's talk about her first then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so Cassandra... It's Cassandra X, right?
I just call her Cassandra.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna call her Cassandra X. Okay, so Cassandra is a very interesting character. Apparently she was Professor X's twin sister who tried to kill each other in their mother's womb.
Yeah.
And she's a prominent villain in some of the comics.
And in this movie, she got blipped. She got vaporized when she was a baby.
Yes. Now, how
did she survive in the wasteland when she was a baby?
No idea.
I don't know.
She's interesting. I hate her. I like the actress who played her. She played this maniacal, crazy, insane person whose only vindictive is chaos and torture, which is fine. It's good. But
that's all she is.
Yeah, there's kind of a one-trick pony. Oh, there was one scene in the movie. We'll get to that when we get to the plot. But there was one scene in the movie that did almost make me put her character in a different light. We'll get to that later. But overall, yeah, she's not really.
Yeah, the other villain is actually kind of worse.
He is?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Well, he's not only also mustache-twirling villain, he's also an idiot. We're gonna get to why, but Paradox, the other villain, basically was put in charge of just watching Deadpool's universe die, which apparently will take thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
But he said he doesn't want to watch that happen and wants to go back to the old ways that the TVA would deal with variant universes and just
clip them.
Yeah, clip them, just prune them in the Loki show.
Yeah, quick side note, sorry, Scarlet Scum. Quick side note, the TVA is very interesting.
Well, we're not gonna go into the whole intricacies of the TVA now because that's explained in a whole different show that we're gonna review later.
Yeah, but basically they're basically God? No, they're not gods.
They're basically gods.
Yeah, they're basically gods who watches over the entire multiverse. And if there's something in the multiverse that they don't like, they'll either get rid of it or let it die a heat wave death.
Well, what they would actually have done in the past is just
get rid of
them because, of course, they want to quote unquote maintain the sacred timeline, which is the MCU main continuity.
Yeah, and Paradox basically wants to speed that up by building a bomb to blow up Deadpool's universe.
Well, see, in the Deadpool movie, it seems that this TVA is right after Loki season 2, which we're not gonna review because it's too much bullshit. After Loki season 2, the TVA no longer prunes timelines and they just let them run their natural course. So that's basically what he was set in charge to do. But he doesn't want to do that because it's boring, and he just wants to prune them like what they did in the past. So, as Tykel said, he's gonna make a bomb that's gonna like prune the entire timeline.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get into how that's unbelievably stupid. But since he wants to do that, he captured Deadpool so he could have a place in the MCU, which is a meta joke for Deadpool being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Instead of being
a lot of jokes about the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, there is.
So this movie, wait, before I go, this movie, like, is probably the funniest Deadpool movie I've ever seen. Like, the amount of times I laughed so much at this movie, like all the jokes and all the meta humor.
I mean, this movie was funny, but it's not as funny as the first Deadpool movie for me. But it's
Really?
Yeah, I find the first one funnier, but this movie was pretty funny, especially when they take jabs at Disney. But
you'll take any humor that
I will take anything that's a step above the crap we've been getting from the MCU for like phase 4 and 5. But back to the villain, he's just mustache twirly, and he's also an idiot, but we're gonna get to that when we get into the plot.
Yeah.
So
what other characters? There's not the only main four, but the cameos.
Oh
the cameos are also a good addition.
Yeah, the cameos were good. I'm gonna let you go first because we probably have like a different.
Alright, so because Scarlett has never seen, vaguely remembers the X-Men movies, I recognize everybody.
I recognize them because
Did you recognize Chris Evans when he showed up?
Yes.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
You knew he played Johnny from Fantastic Four.
I remember the Fantastic Four movies.
When we watched this movie, you saw him. You thought he was Blythe's Captain America.
Well, the reason why I thought that's because they made the joke about it previously. And so when I saw him, I was like, oh, this is going to be like a different variant Captain America. But when I saw Chris Evans, I was like, oh, they actually got Chris Evans to do this. So I thought it was going to be Captain America. But the moment he said Flame On, it's like, oh, it's the Human Torch.
Yes.
From the Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah.
I remember the Fantastic Four movies, okay?
Alright. Not only that, but we also got Elektra
from the very infamous Deadpool movie.
Deadpool.
Oh my gosh, that's a Daredevil movie.
Also her very short-lived solo movie Elektra.
Oh yeah.
Which is very stupid and
it's so cringe. But they got her, like the actual actress.
Yeah. She still looks good. When I saw her, I'm like, oh, she looks almost exactly like her hero counterpart.
Mm-hmm. And also,
and yes, I understand that she played her in the past. I'm like, it's like she hasn't aged, you know?
Yeah.
But who has aged was Blade.
Has he?
Everything.
He has what? Oh yeah, sure. He still looks good for his age.
Yeah. I'm so happy to see Blade because I recently rewatched all the Blade movies and they're so fucking hilarious. And they're like the perfect 2000 time capsules. It's so funny.
See, I can't comment on this because I haven't watched Blade either.
I also saw Gambit, which is played by a completely different actor.
Wait, when I thought this was like just a comic book character that they brought. No, I know, but was he in a movie?
Yes.
What movie?
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh.
But he's a completely different character.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, but he looked the part, and his powers.
His powers are actually really cool.
Yes, they're really cool.
Yeah. And also, the last cameo is X-24 or 3. Yeah, X-23, basically the girl from the Logan movie.
Yeah, she's obviously grown up. She was still like thinking from her loss of their universe's Wolverine.
And I don't know why she got pruned. What?
We'll get to that.
Why did she get
We'll get
pruned?
to that.
No, we're actually not. I don't think they ever explained this in the movie. They said that they were like forgotten heroes, but I don't know why she was pruned.
Yeah.
So,
Other cameos are actually good. We saw Sabretooth, we saw Pyro, we saw, like you said, the Human Torch, we saw some of X3 mutants, which is...
oh yeah, we did.
We saw Juggernaut!
Yeah, Juggernaut!
I think he's the actual actor who's playing Juggernaut!
Yeah. And we saw, I swear, there was like this like superhero with like this purple aura. This actress, and I remember from one of the action movies, but I don't remember.
There's the third one.
Yeah, I don't remember her name. You know?
Purple Aura?
Yeah.
Is it Psylocke?
The one with the rope. With the purple rope.
Psylocke.
Yeah, see, this is how much I don't remember the X-Men movies. I remember, like, snippets and little pieces, but I don't remember anything from it.
Yeah. So, they were cute. They were like...
It was nice to see. I kind of wish they did more with the characters, because there's, like, an interesting premise going on about them being, like, forgotten heroes, and the meta commentary about this is their movies are literally been forgotten.
All movies aren't.
Well, they haven't been forgotten, but they've been like cast aside, like abandoned, basically, because those are like the infamous X-Men movies that people wag on. So they're basically like paying homage to them.
Yeah, and it was really nice to see them like act in their prime, and that's when we get into the fight scenes. Now, this is one of my other than the plot. My other critique about this movie is that the fight scenes they weren't bad. They were just very underwhelming to me. I don't know. I just like there were some fight scenes that were pretty good. There was like the car fight scene. That was
the Honda Civic.
Yeah, in the Honda Civic. I also enjoyed the fight scene with all the when Blade and Elektra and all them went to raid Cassandra's hideout. I generally like that one because they like use all of their powers to their effect. Yeah. So they weren't all bad. I don't know. I just compared to the first and second movie, they weren't doing it for me. It didn't flow very naturally. It just felt like some of them were I don't know, it just wasn't there for me.
Well, I actually liked most of the fight scenes except for the ending fight scene.
Oh, the one with all the Deadpool?
Yeah, the one... At some point in the movie, guys, there's different variants of Deadpools that comes through a portal and starts fighting Deadpool and Wolverine. I didn't really like that fight scene, but the rest of them I actually liked a lot.
Yeah, and even though parts didn't really work for me, there is one fight scene that I will hold to my heart. And it's the opening scene.
Oh my god.
We gotta talk about the opening scene.
Hey guys.
The opening scene. Okay, you guys don't know. The opening scene is probably the best part of this movie.
Guys, this...
And it's not a spoiler because it's all over the internet.
Well, it's not real. I mean, we're only... Okay, if you guys haven't seen the movie, like... don't watch the screen, okay? Because you need to experience this for yourself firsthand, because this was hilarious. This was hilarious.
The movie starts in medias res. Deadpool is still looking for Wolverine, like we said, and he finds a dead corpse. But then the TVA
suddenly appears. Like, this is before we know any information about what's going on. He's basically fighting the TVA for some reason. We don't really know why, but
while he's fighting them, okay, but we obviously can't play any music because of copyright. But while he's fighting them, I swear on my life, there is a bye 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 from NSYNC. If you guys don't know, NSYNC is like a very old, obscure boy band from like the early 2000s, and while he's fighting the TVA with Wolverine's adamantium corpse, while the bye 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 music is playing,
he's just playing in the background. Even better. In some of the scenes, he just starts dancing to it.
And I can't play the music because of copyright, but it's basically it's that song going in.
Well, it's stuck in my head, but like I don't remember any of the words. We could play like a tiny bit of it. Just. No, I wanna see you, baby. Guys, they played the whole song. This goes on for like 3 minutes.
And it's fucking hilarious. He just dance fighting all the TVA soldiers while the bye 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 song is playing.
And the opening credits like roll.
And there's a guy, it's not Ryan Reynolds, unfortunately. It's a guy.
It's a performer. His name is damn, I forgot. It was Nick Polly.
Yeah. He basically, I guess Ryan Reynolds hired him to like do the dances in the background. It's so funny.
It's very funny.
When I saw this guy looked at me like, what is this song? I thought it's funny.
I didn't know what this song was.
And I told him that it was from like a boy band from the early 200s, and
I'm still racking my brain on this. It's like, why this song?
The choreography is good.
The choreography in this one is really good, but I need to like, I need to know why this song. Because everything in this movie is like meta commentary, so I seldom figured out why this song. But anyway, yeah, it's just hilarious.
Like I can watch this trailer all for the rest of my life. Like, this trailer's never gonna leave my head.
It's the opening thing.
Yeah. But it's like the best part of the movie. Like,
it is actually the best part of the movie.
Now, unfortunately, the rest of the movie, just doing like the characters and the fight scenes and the plot.
If you just forget the characters, forget the fight scenes, forget like the nostalgia cameo stuff, let's talk about the plot.
Yeah.
As I said at the beginning, this plot is utter garbage.
It's not garbage. It's just too simple. They're trying to take a simplified plot and turn it and trying to complexify it.
That's not really the problem, because a simple plot could be good. It's just the setup and the premise of this movie makes no sense. I know they didn't really care about it because the TVA and the rules in and of itself is nonsense, but they added stuff into this that made it even make less sense. Now, I would have been fine with it if they just took the rules that already existed in TVA and like exploited to its advantage.
But nobody has seen the Loki show.
That is true.
No one has seen it, but they have to both re-explain and maybe fix some of the plot holes of the TVA.
They didn't fix the plot holes. They introduced a new aspect that was not in the Loki show. It was kind of in the Doctor Strange movie, but not in this way. This is basically just like a new concept in the multiverse like rules that of course contradicts the other rules and doesn't make any sense. So like we said, Deadpool's universe is dying because in the Logan movie, Logan died, and he was something known as an anchor being, which somehow, like, just caused the universe to, like, keep going. But when he died in his movie, it started to decay. So, basically, what Deadpool needs to do is go across the multiverse and find a Logan.
And this is where I unfortunately got confused. Cause little known secret. Would you like to explain the flaw in my thinking?
What do you mean, that you don't like time travel movies?
I hate them. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't follow it every time. I think the plot's gonna be completely simple. They always add unnecessary things like, we gotta go back in time to find this thing. We can't interact with this. We can't go back at this time. We can't do this or mention this or have this or and then when we go forward in time, stuff changes, but stuff are still the same. And things have to be switched. We have to go back and re-switch it. We have to go to this point in time and do this. So this would happen and cause this and do this. It's too much on my head. I'm sorry.
They don't do any of that in this movie.
No, they don't. Thankfully, I was able to follow this, but it's confused me.
Now listen, Tykel didn't watch. Well, she did. Well, she didn't watch Loki season 2, but she watched Loki season 1, but she doesn't remember anything from it.
I remember some stuff.
You don't remember the rules.
Well, yeah, because the rules are fucking stupid.
But I do, and it's also stupid. She also watched Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and I don't think she understands the rules of that either. Now, I remember both of those movies.
I think Marvel has unfortunately broke my brain.
It has broke my brain too. But I still remember these stuff because I can't help it, because I guess I want to torture myself. But the rule that has been established, quote unquote, as in like clunkily put together, now, I don't blame the writers for ignoring the rules because it's absolute utter horse shit. But the new rules they put into this is still just as bad. Now, I think they just don't give a shit because they just want Wolverine to interact with Deadpool, which is understandable because I don't give a shit about the rules either, but it's still a flaw, and as me being the objective person that I am, I'm gonna critique it. So, the established rules in the Loki show, in the first season of the Loki show, is that when someone...
wait, Scarlett, before you go, just calm down.
I'm not gonna rage out, okay?
Alright. I meant to don't, like, go on a rant.
I'm not gonna go
just explain it as...
Yes, I'll be as brief as possible. Okay. So in the Loki show, when someone does something that they weren't supposed to do, or basically what the TVA didn't want them to do, and they cause another timeline to branch from the quote-unquote sacred timeline, they'll basically prune that timeline, okay? But after the events of Loki Season 2, they don't do that anymore, so they just let the multiverse run rampant. But when they used to do that, they would have these little bombs that will basically prune the entire alternate timeline and condemn like 8 billion, like trillions of people to their death, because of a purple fart poodle that's also in this movie, but is barely has like any plot significance in this movie. But the main thing to remember is that they have these little bombs that they would just use to prune entire universes and timelines. Then in Doctor Strange, another rule was added in the Multiverse of Madness. Another rule was added where if someone from another universe goes and travels to a completely different universe, the longer they stay there, the more they will cause a catastrophic event called an incursion, where two universes collide with each other and destroy each other. So therefore, the longer that person from a universe stays in that universe, the more the two universes are at risk with colliding with each other. That doesn't make any damn sense in the Doctor Strange movie alone, but these two main points this movie just doesn't care about, because the whole premise of this movie is to find a Wolverine to stay in Deadpool's universe so it doesn't die, even though it's already established that if someone from another universe goes to another universe, the two universes will die. So therefore, this movie's entire premise doesn't make any sense, because if Wolverine stayed in Deadpool's universe, that Wolverine's universe and Deadpool's universe will collide together and will destroy each other. Yeah, that's the plan. But somehow in the end, he's able to keep Deadpool's universe alive and an incursion doesn't happen.
So you can obviously see how I got confused with this plot.
And you can see how already this is broken. The whole
they also make fun of Loki. So I think they're also trying to, in the midst of making fun of it, like, fix it? Because
this is not from Loki. I haven't even got to that yet. This is a rule from Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I just explained it.
So,
no, I explained it in Multiverse of Madness. They said that if someone from another universe goes into another universe, that person's universe and the universe that they're in will collide with each other and destroy each other, and that's called an incursion.
Because the whole reason the TVA kidnaps him.
No, that's not why they kidnapped him. They kidnapped Loki because he did something off script that caused a different universe to form because he took the Tesseract and escaped. We're not gonna go into Loki this time, but that's why they capture him. But this rule about incursions comes from Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. And basically, this premise of the movie with an anchor being and the incursion rule just fully contradicts with each other, and it doesn't make any sense.
Well, like I said, I think the anchor being thing is basically like I said, it's a fixed point in time. If this specific thing doesn't happen, then the universe doesn't happen. Oh, no, just hear me out. Let's say, if Iron Man never got kidnapped by those terrorists, he never would have met Nick Fury, the Avengers would never have been happen, and the whole MCU wouldn't have existed.
Yeah, but that's not what this is. Logan died. That was supposed to happen.
It was?
Yes, that's the only thing I'm confused about. Logan was supposed to die in Logan, but yet for some reason, because he died, since he's an anchor being, the universe is dying.
Yes.
I don't know why an event that's supposed to happen causes the universe's death, which raises questions. Was Logan supposed to die in Logan or not? Was he supposed to live?
Well, I mean, that was his last movie, so...
Why, is this just like a natural course that every universe goes through? Like, their anchor being dies and therefore the universe dies? Why does it take 1,000 years? Why? Why out of, like, the millions of years universe.
That's also kind of a meta. This is also a meta thing as well.
Yeah, it is a meta thing, but
no, because before you say what you're gonna say, to me, I think the anchor being is because in recent X-Men media, they kind of had a hard on for Wolverine. Like, he shows up in almost every single X-Men movie, even if it doesn't demand it.
So he's the most important person in the X-Men movies?
Yes. So I guess when he died, the X-Men movies ceased to exist because they keep using him in every movie.
Yeah, that's I think you're actually right. That's why this whole plot exists. But it just contradicts with the in-universe.
Let's pretend... Okay, taking from... Obviously, I don't think they cared about the rules
I know.
that Doctor Strange and Loki created. They're making their own thing.
I know they don't care, but they still used the TVA, and they still used characters from the Loki show, and they still reference the Loki show. So this is in the universe of the MCU. So therefore, the rules of the cosmic shenanigans that exist within Loki and Multiverse of Madness still remains, but yet they don't follow the rules. So I'm still gonna critique it. Yeah, okay. So that's still important, and me being objective, I still have to point that out. The other thing is going back to why I think Paradox, the other villain, is a complete dumbass. Is the other exciting incident of this plot is that Deadpool has to get this Wolverine back to his universe before Paradox blows his universe up with this new bomb thing that he's using to basically prune his universe. Now, that's why they're also on a timer of sorts, because right when Deadpool tried to stop him from doing what he was doing, they basically got pruned into the void, which is basically where, like, the multiverse, well, it's basically where the pruned universes and people go to get eaten by the giant fart poodle, which we're going to talk about when we talk about Loki. Yes, I'm calling it that. But basically, the void is just a wasteland where people get pruned go to die. So they gotta...
Question, why did X-23 get thrown into...
That's what I asked. They don't explain this in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Like, I understand why Elektra got thrown in. I know why Blade got thrown in. I know why everyone else got thrown in. But Logan's movie was pretty popular. Even in a meta sense, it doesn't really make any sense, because Logan was really popular. Like I said, it was like...
Yeah, you're right. And the whole theme about their cameos that they're supposed to be the forgotten ones.
Yeah.
She wasn't forgotten, so I don't understand why she's here. I think the only reason why she's here is so that she can have that scene with Wolverine. I think that's literally it.
Oh, that's bad.
That is bad.
I think that scene is good. Actually,
yeah, I really like that scene, but it doesn't make sense why she's here, like, at all.
Yeah, I also like, that, he was able to, like, talk to her in the way that, old man Wolverine talked to her. She was able to give him, hope in that. Because, spoiler, in the movie, this version of Wolverine, everyone's dead. He didn't really care about his friends or family.
Well, basically what happened was, he turned down being an X-Men.
Yeah.
In his universe, and him not being able to help them got all of them killed.
Yeah.
The humans, like, hunted all of them down, and they all died, so he feels, like, immensely guilty for, not being there to help But in the campfire scene, X-23 basically gave him hope, and he was, because of that conversation, he was like willing to basically pour his heart out. It was really well acted, and I actually really believed in his character in that moment. So
yeah, the only problem is now that we're dissecting this,
I don't know why
it makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
at all.
From a narrative sense and from a meta sense,
I don't know.
He should not be here.
And also,
this is the Fox universe.
But it's mainly movies that were forgotten, and they really saw the Logan Wolverine. They put him on a pedestal. That's why he's the anchor being. So I don't know why she got pruned if that was what was supposed to happen.
Yeah,
and she wasn't forgotten either. So meta sense, it doesn't make any sense. So, but I did really like that campfire scene. So anyway, back to Paradox of why he thinks he's a dumbass. This whole bomb thing doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
Because it was established in Loki that they had these old bombs that would prune entire timelines. So why does he have to make a bomb to prune Deadpool's timeline when he could just get those little bombs to prune his timeline? Why
didn't they say that they don't do it anymore?
Yeah, but I don't think they just threw away all of the millions of bombs. They're probably in stores somewhere in the vastness of the TVA.
What does that mean?
Well, the TVA is vast. They're in a place that's outside of space and time. I know that doesn't make any sense, but they said they're outside of space and time, so they're basically just infinite, apparently. So it's somewhere in a closet rotting away, and if they
closet, you just throw into the closet.
Well, since they're not using it anymore, I don't think they mass produced just destroyed these nuclear bombs of this.
Well, it's because wasn't the TVA created to preserve the timeline and clip off the bad timeline?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So this is probably the first invention they ever created.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now this even brings up more problems. Not only should they have some of these stuff in storage, but it probably won't even take that long to make these bombs if they had a mass production of them. Why can't he just make one of them just to prune Deadpool's timeline? Why does it take 72 hours? Or was it 48 hours? Whichever one. Why does it take days for him to make this bomb that doesn't look anything like the bombs that in the Loki show just to prune Deadpool's timeline?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand this. So yeah, the two main stuff in this movie that incites the entire incident, it doesn't make any sense. They don't address the problem either. So the setup is fucked. And obviously there is your typical coincidences and contrivances. Of course, in the vastness of the void, they somehow ran into the Human Torch, and they also ran into Cassandra's lackey to be captured. Even though the void.
I just want to say, one of Cassandra's lackeys is Sabretooth. That was the most disappointing fight in this whole thing. Because as someone has seen both X-Men 1 and Wolverine, those two are enemies and they should fight. We only got one and that's it.
Yeah, one Japanese, they just run at each other and they end up on opposite sides and one of them dies. That's literally it. I don't remember the X-Men movie, so I didn't know the significance, but Tykel knew, and she was really disappointed.
I was like, did they hire the actor who played? I don't know.
I think it was him, but they build it up in the scene itself, and he just died. It was Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was bad. The fight scene with the Human Torch and Pyro was also that was not a fight scene, and this is because I've seen the Fantastic Four movies. I know Johnny Storm is a badass, so why the hell does he not do anything?
He kind of just.
What did the
I think they didn't have the budget to get him.
They didn't have the budget to create a fight scene with the humans!
I don't think so. Oh no, if that's the case, I don't even know why they put him in the movie.
Also, he like, references that, the other Fantastic Four here, like Reeve and,
They did?
Yeah!
They were here?
Yeah, because he, like, mentioned when, Wolverine and Deadpool, when I got to the Void, he said that, Reeve told him this was a wasteland in time. So I'm like, are we gonna see these?
No.
Yeah.
I think they could only...
You said it in the movie!
Listen, I don't know why they put him in general, but that's all they were gonna do with him. I don't know why they would put Sabretooth in the movie if that was all they were gonna do with him. It's actually really disappointing, which is weird, because they gave Blade, Elektra, and Gambit, and X-24, like, three, my goodness, proper, like, fight scenes.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why these cameos sucked. So yeah, the cameos aren't perfect. Those ones sucked ass. But the other ones are pretty good in my opinion, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to the contrivances.
Those are the contrivances.
No, the other contrivance is when they were fighting in the Honda Civic and they passed out. X-23 just found them. She just found the car suddenly and just drove them back to their hideout. They were just conveniently right there. And so she drove them back, and then that was it. Out of all the badness of the Boyd guys, they were just right there.
Also, this is kind of a contrivance, but also like a very funny contrivance. The scene where they fought all the Deadpools.
Oh, yeah, okay. This is also another problem. Apparently, they're working with Cassandra to make sure that Deadpool Wolverine doesn't get to the bomb. Why are they working with her?
I guess because she promised to keep them alive.
I didn't see that. And also, why would they care? Because Deadpool didn't want to work with her.
Yeah.
So what the hell? Why?
I have no idea. However, speaking of Cassandra, remember I told you there was a scene where I almost cared about her character? It was the scene where they so basically they teased that the only way to get rid of Cassandra's powers, because Cassandra basically has the same powers as Professor X,
but it's kind of a little stunted because she has to actually touch the person in order to get into their head, and she has this weird
that's really good.
The presentation of this is basically her. She when she touches the person, her fingers basically she just hones through their head.
Yeah, and the visual effects are really good in that too.
Yeah.
And they basically seems the only way to get rid of that, to stop her from doing that, is to put Juggernaut's helmet on.
Well, at first they said in order to do that is to put, was it Magneto's helmet?
Yeah.
On her head, but
by the way, he's dead, and I'm fucking shit.
Listen,
Magneto is the most powerful person in the entire X-Men universe.
She's not as powerful as Xavier, so I don't know how the hell this happened.
How did fucking die?
How did she beat him? I don't I guess. Well, even if he was alive, once again, the vast force of the void just makes it impossible for them to just find him.
Yeah.
Like, if he just showed up just conveniently, I would have been like, all right, okay, what?
Yeah.
Whatever. Why?
So the plan B is to use Juggernaut's helmet, and they do it. And then Wolverine basically they basically have her in a corner, and Wolverine basically is like, no, don't kill her. I know you're going through a lot of pain, and your brother wouldn't want, he would want you to have peace and not, be crazy and psychotic. And then when they release her from the helmet, she, has a certain change. He's like, oh, you're a very interesting person. All right, I'll help you leave this place.
Well, basically her thing.
I really saw her have some basically an understanding between her and Wolverine. It was like she understands him, cause they basically both went through the same thing. Kinda.
Yeah, they kind of went through the same thing.
They kind of went through the same thing. So for them to have this quiet understanding, and them her briefly helping them in a way, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I can get behind this.
Yeah, we'll see, because
and then when she went through a portal, she
became a mustache-only villain.
Yeah.
But the other scene that has to do with Wolverine that I really liked, I thought it was gonna be bad at first because it kind of became exposition-y, and I didn't really see the point at first. It was basically she got. Well, when they tried to, put the helmet on her, she, basically flinged Deadpool into a wall and kind of knocked him out. And she, stunned Deadpool because...
Yeah.
Deadpool. No, she stunned Wolverine because she also has telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
And she got in his head. It was basically, going through, all the terrible memories of, the X-Men getting killed or whatever, and we're in a little dark field of graves. Were they graves?
I think they were graves.
Yeah, graves of I guess of the X-Men. And she basically forces him to confess to what he did, and we were going through the thing that he told. Yeah, it was that. It was those. It was those graves. Right. Mm-hmm. Right here. Yeah.
It was this scene. This scene was actually really good.
Yeah. It was these graves. I think these are the graves of his friends. Anyway, she's making him tell her basically the stuff he did wrong. And at first I was like, what? Why are we doing this? I thought we already had the scene with him on the camp at the campfire with X-23. I was like, well, what the hell was the point of this? I don't understand. So I was about to write this off as being bad, but what she was actually doing was trying to tempt him on her side, because as Tykel said, they have a similar past with each other, of basically messing up and being abandoned. So the snippet of this that was good was that she was basically was being the demon on his shoulder. If she was like that throughout the whole movie, basically conniving and intelligent and basically fucks with people's brains because of her sadistic nature, if they really delved deeper into that, I feel like she could have been interesting, even though she's just doing something because she's evil. But if they went deeper into her psychotic nature and why she's like this, and have her do more of these scenes where she fucks with the main character's brains, and I feel like she would have been decent. But this is the only time where she does this. This is my out of the top 5 scenes, this is my 5th favorite scene. Cause I like the little snippet of her being more than just a mustache twirling villain. It seemed like she's actually cunning.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is actually pretty interesting, but it didn't really last long, so. But
yeah.
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. So,
Yeah, I agree with Scarlett. I think those two scenes, the one I mentioned and the one you described, those like the only two scenes where she wasn't just like a mustache twirling villain. I was kind of interested in her character.
Yeah, but yeah, so we're kind of done with the contrivances. I kind of explained it all in a concise way. So
Also, wait, just another contrivance I want to show. Do you remember after the Deadpool fight scene where they all fight them?
Yeah, this is another contrivance.
And then Peter.
But it's funny.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen in Deadpool 2, there's this like normal guy named Peter.
Yeah.
He's like a normal everyday guy. He like worked with Deadpool for that one time to like, stop Cable from killing a kid who, oh gosh, I just realized Deadpool 2 is also a time.
Oh yeah. You probably wouldn't like them because that's actually just time travel. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Peter. Peter is basically becomes Deadpool's friend.
Yeah, because he's recruiting like people, and he just accepts Peter, who's just a normal guy with no powers, besides the only one that survives.
Deadpool, Peter shows up and just tries to like make a distraction to help him escape. But then when he takes off his mask, all the Deadpools just cheer. What the fuck is going on? And then like the lady Deadpool girl, she was like, and Deadpool asks, wait, how do you know Peter? And then she said, are you kidding me? Every Deadpool universe has a Peter. Every Deadpool universe. Every single universe that you have been in has this specific character.
This specific Peter.
This specific character who is like a moral, emotional support for Deadpool. He shows up in every. So are you like,
he's a constant. He's the Uncle Ben, but even more constant because they all recognized his face.
Is he like the Jimmy Olsen of the universe?
Yeah, it's a contrivance because that's not how the multiverse works. Of course, there would be a Deadpool that doesn't have a Peter. But it was funny because he's just like Uncle Ben. He's just a constant. Like, it's like every Deadpool just needs a Peter.
I guess every Deadpool needs a moral support, but no, it's a little. He needs Peter.
Yeah, so it's just Peter.
Alright, I just want to talk about the ending scene.
Which one?
The one where they're about to die.
Oh yeah, okay, so, basically, in the end, in the third act, she, realizes
Cassandra
realizes that, Paradox, wanted Cassandra to be killed because she has a way of like going back to the main timeline because she helps Wolverine and Deadpool get back to their timeline. Mm-hmm. And so he basically sends.
How does she do it?
Oh, okay. Listen, guys, I gotta talk about this. This is another like contrivance, but it's actually something that they remembered from the first Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
She has a sling ring, which means she like defeated Doctor Strange, which maybe that will happen, but I don't see how that would happen.
She defeated the Doctor Strange from her universe?
I don't know. She could have defeated a random Doctor Strange that got pruned.
Okay.
Or just any sorcerer that got pruned. It doesn't really even need to be Doctor Strange. It could just be any sorcerer that got pruned.
Okay.
So anyway, she has a sling ring, and she just apparently knows how to use it. I don't know how. Maybe in her group, there's like a sorcerer that taught her how to do it. Maybe.
Yeah.
But she just knows how to do it, I guess. So that's how Wolverine and Deadpool gets back to their universe, because they bring back the rule that was in the first Doctor Strange movie, which is that a sling ring could travel the multiverse, or could help someone travel the multiverse. It could go to different universes. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, they actually remembered the rule. But now it brings up a new problem, which is... So you're telling me that sling rings could just travel to different multiverses? So how come in, like, when, you know, the TV were doing their thing and pruning people, how come there's no, like, variants just popping up in the timeline because they're just using sling rings?
Well, probably because they don't know how to use it.
Well, what about the multiple Doctor Strange variants that probably got pruned?
Well, that would lead to a whole multiverse of madness problem.
Yeah, but that's like an actual problem. Unless they confiscate the sling rings before they... So how did
Santa get one? Did you monitor the waistband?
I don't even...
Do you have, like, you know, checkouts in case someone's trying to start a kill or something?
I don't even know.
It's revealed that Pyro, one of the variants in the waistband, is working for Paradox. And Paradox wants Deadpool to basically stay down there and keep Cassandra in check. So they are technically watching the waistband, but somehow they missed
Sling ring. If they do confiscate the sling rings before they prune somebody, well, I mean, that doesn't even make any sense because they prune the entire timelines and there's like thousands of sorcerers that have these sling rings. So you see, this is another problem. That just this one scene about having a sling ring just brings up so many questions. But hey, we need them to get back to the universe. So this needs to happen. But it doesn't make any sense. And even though I'm happy that they remembered the rule, this just brings up a myriad of problems. And also, this is how the third act happens because she goes through the universe.
Yeah, so she goes to the main timeline. She decides, fuck the main timeline. I'm gonna destroy everything.
For reasons.
And she basically uses the bomb to do that. And then Paradox tells Deadpool and Wolverine, hey, the only way to destroy the bomb is to combine matter with antimatter.
Because that's what's powering the machine, but it's separate. But if you put it together, it will override the machine and blow it up. But whoever, like, does this will also get blown up and they would die.
Now, as you can tell, this makes no sense.
I don't even understand how the machine works.
That line, those rules are insane.
I don't know how this machine works.
Like, one lightning?
They're two opposites that somehow power the machine together. And
why does it matter? I thought, was it like time matter? Does time matter exist?
Yes. That's in Loki season 2. I'm not even gonna get into it.
So are they using time matter?
No, it's not this. This is something completely different. And I don't understand how it works.
That's making me think they're not following the rules of Loki.
Yeah, they're not following the rules, period. Okay.
Yeah, they're making their own thing, but they're still depending on the continuity of Loki.
Yeah.
So what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, basically, someone's gonna combine the two together and it'll blow up. But whoever does that will also die. So they go, and Deadpool is like, you know, I gotta do it because I gotta save my friends. But Wolverine says, no, you gotta live for them. I have nothing to live for, so I'll do it. Basically, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's pretty well acted.
I'm gonna sacrifice myself for the greater good, but
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, so Wolverine says he's gonna do it, but then Deadpool, like, basically shoves him aside and locks the door.
Also, I just want to talk about before he does that, he does the spot, the scene. I don't know if any of you out there are a fan of Star Trek, but in Star Trek, the movie Star Trek II Rise of Khan, Spock basically sacrifices himself to save the crew by absorbing the radiation. And before he dies, he does this like thing where he splits his fingers
all the time.
Well, yeah, but he like does this on the wall,
on the window,
and he like tells Jim, "Hey, good luck, and I care about you, and I'm doing this for you. I love you guys. Goodbye."
Yeah,
it's a very like traumatic and like it is a very traumatic scene. Everybody,
yeah, it's very dramatic. It's very.
Yeah, because Deadpool did it. I said it. I'm like, oh fuck you! No, you cannot ever do that thing with the same emotion.
Well, we were trying to make it emotional. It was a joke.
I know. Also, this movie also making fun about how long the movie is. Cause like before he goes down, Deadpool like turns the camera, is like home stretch, baby.
Yeah, we're almost getting there, guys. Just stay in your seats.
Yeah. So anyways, Deadpool goes in, he tries to connect them, but it's too like.
Yeah, he basically if I could just set up the scene, there's like there's two canister tubes that has the antimatter and the matter flowing through like these wires, and so Deadpool breaks one, and and they're also like separated by like a pathway, so it's like probably like a meter apart. So Deadpool breaks one of the characters. He breaks one of the canisters. He wraps one of the wires in his hands, and he tries to reach the other canister, but he can't. And they're running out of time because Cassandra is using the machine manually to like basically prune the universe. Which might I say, the bomb is on the universe, and she's using the machine to destroy the universe. I'm like, are you gonna die as well? Destroy all the universes if you're on this universe. I don't understand. Anyway, so Deadpool can't reach it, right?
Yeah.
And so they think it's about to be over, but
Wolverine
comes in, grabs his hand, and also breaks the other canister, and they basically both take the brute of the energy together. And I did like the presentation of the scene.
Yes.
Even though they kind of made a whole joke about it because Wolverine's shirt just explodes. Jokes about how he's like perfectly ripped and shredded. Because that is also another constant in all the X-Men movies. Yes, he's always shirtless. Every time. All the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, it was actually a really well shot.
Yes.
And I actually felt something, Taika.
Yeah.
I felt a little like thing. It's like, oh, is this like emotion? It's an emotion. Listen, alright? Okay, I'm gonna remind you all, this is the first time that Marvel's come out with a movie, and this is the first time she has cared. Yeah, because all the movies after Endgame, every single movie was shit. Okay, not all of them were. I think No Way Home wasn't that bad. Okay, No Way Home is like this movie. The plot is bullshit. The characters are actually really good. So yeah. So this is the first movie.
Yeah. So only Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Spider-Man No Way Home. Every single movie has been dog shit.
Yes, and I didn't care about the characters at all, but this movie actually made me care. Like, and the presentation was really good.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked that it was heartfelt. And I actually wanted them to die in this scene.
Yes, but of course
they didn't die.
How?
No, explain to me how! You specifically said it was 2 minutes! He's still alive! Now, I'm gonna steel man this for a second. I think they're using the Guardians of the Galaxy rules.
From the first one?
Yeah, the first one. Remember when that girl touched the Power Stone and she immediately like blew up?
Well, yeah, because the power like absorbed her body.
Yeah, in the end, when Star-Lord grabbed the Power Stone to destroy Ronan, the whole team basically grabbed hands with him and they were able to like absorb.
Peter didn't automatically blow up was because he wasn't like.
Oh yeah, well, that's the other reason, but I think he would have blown up regardless, because even though he's like, because he's still half human.
Mm-hmm.
So even though he's like, he has half of the power of his father, I think he would have still like blown up. But I don't think it was only the reason why he's not fully human. I think the other reason was because the rest of the Guardians held his hand and the power kind of went through all of their bodies, which is why they didn't die. So I think that's the logic they're using here, because Wolverine and Deadpool were like had their hands locked together, so the matter and the antimatter was flowing through both of them, and also because their healing abilities, that's how they survived. I still don't think this is an adequate explanation, but I think that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but of course they didn't die. Of course.
Yeah.
Well, still fine.
I will say, that scene when they like were walking out and everyone was just looking at them with.
They're mainly looking at Charlotte.
Oh yeah. There's like this running joke where one of the TVA workers is this guy. He's like
Possibly gay. And they keep making the joke that he's gay, but he's like denying. But then when he sees Wolverine, he's immediately, turned on. that was a little payoff to that joke. That was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so, they save the world. Wolverine prevents like their universe from dying somehow, doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
And it ends. Deadpool found his like new like purpose. He's out of his spunk.
Yeah, Wolverine is now living in his universe, and he seems like he's
got a new purpose to live.
Yeah.
It ends. So, final thoughts on the movie.
Yes.
So,
alright, look.
In terms of the plot,
It's bad.
it's bad.
Very.
It's really, really bad.
But the characters and the overarching structure of the movie, plus
And the meta commentary.
and the jokes and the cameos, they kind of sort of over-trump the plot.
Well, I mean, they compensate for it hard. I don't think they compensate for it fully, but they're trying to, and it gives you like a good distraction.
Yeah, good.
From the plot.
Yeah, because like I said, even though I do not understand time plots, I never will. That's just me. And when we get into next week's, I'm sorry, when we get into the next video, you will understand why.
Yeah,
You will understand why I got confused.
and trust me, guys, when we talk about this next show, you're gonna get extremely confused. And you're gonna hear me be the most upset that I've ever been. But let's stick to the positive stuff, okay?
Yes.
I enjoyed this movie subjectively. Subjectively, I really liked this movie.
Yes,
I really
it's
enjoyed
funny,
myself.
It's charming, it's heartwarming. Everything about it is like good.
Objectively, it's terrible.
It's not terrible.
No.
Objectively, I think it's mid.
No.
It's mid.
No, objectively. No, objectively.
If you factor in all the characters and the plot and everything, it's bad.
Well, see, here's the thing. like I said in the beginning, I haven't watched the X-Men movies, and I haven't watched Logan, and I also don't remember the Deadpool movies. So if I remembered them, and we came back to this movie to review it, I feel like I would be able to point out the inconsistencies with Deadpool and Wolverine as characters, but since I don't know, that's why I enjoy their characters specifically in this movie, completely isolated from all the other movies.
Yeah, final thought here. I think the main problem with this movie is that this relies heavily on your knowledge on Fox, because when we were watching the movie, you kept turning to me and asking me, who is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie, like, it's heavily based on your knowledge of Fox media.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but it's like watching a movie that's based off of a show. If you've never seen the show,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that actually is a
which
problem.
is unfortunately a trend that Marvel has gotten into.
Yes, but I feel like if I knew these characters like I know the Marvel characters, I feel like I would be able to like actually, because I've heard apparently in Deadpool's arc that Vanessa breaking up with Deadpool makes no sense, and she was mostly character assassinated.
Really?
Yes. So apparently in this movie, the reason why she breaks up with him is because he's in like this spunk. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But in the previous Deadpool movies, she was willing to stay with him when he found out that he got cancer.
Oh, yeah.
And also, recently, he saved her life when he went back in time for her being shot.
Oh,
So, why does she then just suddenly break up with him when he's in his funk and only gets back together with him when he becomes Deadpool again?
that is a very good question. Oh, gosh.
That's actually not good. She
Yeah.
got character again. This is like No Way Home.
Oh, gosh.
When Doctor Strange needed to be character assassinated in order for the plot to happen. There's so many similarities with this and like No Way Home that's astonishing.
Well, so you think No Way Home was bad?
I think the plot's bad, but I think the characters are pretty good. But the similarity with one character needing to be assassinated in order for the plot to happen is kind of hilarious. So anyway, that's one thing that I remember from the other Deadpool movies. So I feel like if I knew more, and also if I watched the Logan movie and I remember the other X-Men movies, I feel like I would be able to point out.
Yeah, your knowledge on Fox movies is the detriment of this movie.
Yeah.
But, like I said, this movie was fun. It was charming. It was
fun.
It was entertaining, and I would not be remiss if I had to watch it again.
Yeah, I'll be
especially
watching
for that
some.
opening scene. Yeah. That opening scene is burned into my brain.
The song is stuck in my head.
Yeah, it's stuck in your head for a couple of days, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. I've just been listening to the song itself, and now I can't.
Time when I was at home and I was calling you about recording this movie, and I just heard you like singing the song, and I'm like, "Are you singing the Bye 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 song?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Listen, I can't. Every time I hear this song now, I just remember the Deadpool movie, and it's catchy. Okay.
It's catchy.
Yeah, so that's why it's stuck in my head.
NSYNC is?
No,
They're the boy band who created the song.
I know. I don't know the band.
Okay.
This is the first time I've ever heard of them.
Well, yeah, Bye 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 is kind of like their most popular song.
It is?
Yes.
Oh.
Also, if you see like the music video,
The music video is so...
the music video is so 2000. movie.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, final conclusions. The movie was fun. It was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Subjectively, I like it. Objectively, I think it's the plot is just a travesty.
Yes.
And I think that if I was as knowledgeable in the Fox movies as I am with,
Or as I am.
yeah, as you are with the with the Deadpool movies and the Fox movies, I feel like I would be able to like rip the character stuff into pieces. But since I don't know, I'm coming from a place of ignorance.
Okay.
So subjectively, I like the characters, but objectively, the plot's terrible.
Yes.
But it's still a fun movie. The comedy, in my opinion, I think was really good.
Yeah, I was laughing out loud at so many of the jokes, especially the
The opening scene.
not only opening scene, but the post credits.
Oh, yeah. the post-credit scene is basically just having Chris edit. My goodness, Chris Evans just
cursing up a storm.
cursing up a storm.
It's so funny
It was
because
actually funny.
he's not playing Captain America, he's playing Johnny Storm, who is in the Fantastic Four movies an asshole. So it's so funny to see him like replay his old thing. It was so cute.
Yeah, it was
I
cute.
love this movie so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that was also a good scene.
Yeah. Also, before we stop, I just want to talk about like the end credits when they show all the names.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so basically when they doing like the end credits, they're like, you know, showing
They were like showing behind the scenes of all the X-Men movies and all.
and the Deadpool movies.
Yeah, and seeing all of them like playing their roles and you know,
Yeah.
acting out and talking about how much they appreciate it. I got emotional. It's just like because like I said, this movie, like we said, this movie is a homage to everything that Fox created, both good and bad. So to see them basically go through like this nostalgia road of all the actors doing their roles and having fun. It was so touching to see that. It was so cute.
I think Tykel got more emotional about it than me because again I don't remember any of the Fox.
We get it. I force you to watch all the X-Men movies.
Okay, but we're gonna be there for like 10 hours because there's probably multiple plot holes. So anyway, even I understood that was like pretty heartwarming. That just proved that this movie was a love letter to all the Fox movies.
Yeah, it wasn't like a single cash grab. It wasn't like a propaganda piece. It was just like a fun, heartwarming, and sincere superhero movie, and I highly recommend that you watch it.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, so I give my score. What did I give my score? I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay. So subjectively, I would give this movie a 7.5 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
What about objectively?
Objectively, out of the knowledge that I have objectively, I would give this a 4 out of 10.
A 4?
Yes.
Okay. So, again, factoring in the characters,
Yes.
the plot,
Yes.
the cinematography,
Yes.
the jokes,
Yeah.
all of that objectively
Yes.
makes it to a 4.
But listen, the plot is so shit. It's
Oh, no.
it's as bad as Multiverse Madness with the stupid ass rules, okay? It's just as bad as that. But Multiverse and Madness is worse because they assassinate Doctor Strange, okay?
Okay.
But with my limited knowledge, I did like the characters, so it's just below average, okay?
That's... Alright, fine. Alright, fine. Alright, so that's gonna do it for our little on-the-cuff review. Don't worry, next time we'll get back to our regularly over-analytic program.
Yes,
And obviously, as we just said, next time we record, we will be talking about the Loki show, where it basically gives an explanation as to why Scarlet hates the TVA, and not just the TVA, but
it's not. Listen, guys, I sound a little bit impassioned in my Rebel Moon video because I didn't care about any of the characters, but
part 2 came out.
we're not watching part 2.
We're not doing it. I don't care.
Okay.
No, I don't care about Roller Moon anymore, okay? We talked about the first part. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. We have so much stuff that we want to do. We're not doing that one.
You don't want to waste your...
No, I don't want to waste my time because this show, Loki Season 1, guys, this made me angry beyond comprehension. Okay? It wasn't just the absolute bastardization, desecration of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's
even worse than She-Hulk?
Yes.
Even worse than the Marvels?
Marvel didn't desecrate the universe as bad as... Not even as bad as Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, even worse than Secret Invasion?
Well, yeah. Because this is like the whole universe in existence. But anyway, that's not the only thing that pisses me off. It's one of my favorite characters in the MCU.
Okay. Oh, no.
Being absolutely and unbelievably tarnished. And trust me, we're gonna have an entire section. just an entire section on how they just destroyed Loki. It's gonna happen, guys. And trust me, this is probably gonna be the longest review we've ever done. And we're not gonna be talking about the episodes one by one. Because I'm gonna have a whole section about how they moved the universe, how the storytelling by itself was just awful, and how Loki was unbelievable character assassin. That's coming out later.
Scott? Alright. Save your energy for next time we come.
Alright.
Like I said, that's gonna do it for our episode. If you like this kind of content, you can like and subscribe. And if you want to check out our previous video on Rebel Moon, where Scarlet also went on a rant. Not as bad. But still of equal quality. And if you like anything, you can comment below what other movies you want us to talk about. If anything old, anything new. Like we said, we're not detained by just movies. We're not just detained by movies. We also do TV shows, and we can also do games as well.
Yep. So hopefully you guys enjoy our off-the-cuff review of this. And like Tykel said, like and subscribe. And give us some suggestions if you want us to review a specific movie.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you later. Have a good week and God bless. Goodbye.
Goodbye.